You need to stop doing these 3 things when you're trying to gain muscle. In this video, I'm going to show you the most common mistakes that you're making outside of the gym, outside of training, that are hindering how much muscle mass you're putting on. Before I get into that, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel because it really does help me make more. And if you want to have a bulletproof, no holds bars, complete straight to the point guide on how to gain muscle, what I've done is I've put my great guide of gains in the description below. All you have to do is hit the link and get access to that. What we have to remember is that muscle building takes place outside of the gym. All we do in the gym is break it down. And these are the 3 biggest mistakes you're making when you want to grow. Number 1, you are restricting carbohydrates. Carbohydrates increase your ability to train to failure. That increases stimulus, which increases potential muscle growth. An enzyme called AMPK is activated, adenosine monophosphate kinase. That is not good. What AMPK does, it prioritizes energy conservation rather than muscle building. And to make matters worse, it actually switches off mTOR. mTOR is your signaling enzyme for muscle growth. So you need carbohydrates to be circulating in your system for both of these. So it's important for you to have carbohydrates circulate in your system so that AMPK doesn't spike and mTOR doesn't get inhibited. So low carbohydrates equals less muscle building. More carbohydrates equals more potential growth. So when people are telling you they're on keto, not only will they smell of piss, the breath will stink, but they will also have a lower potential of muscle growth and a shit recovery. Number 2 is alcohol. I personally don't drink, and I'm not going to advocate people to go teetotal because I don't think that's a very good thing. Loneliness has killed more people than alcohol ever will. However, especially around, so I've got a photo shoot in 14 weeks, I think. So around that time, I'm never going to drink. 2 reasons that it has an impact on muscle building is 1, it switches mTOR off. Like we discussed earlier, mTOR is your catalytic enzyme of muscle growth. But 2, it also affects the amount of sleep you're going to get. Alcohol is prioritized as a fuel source. It's seen as a poison. Your body cannot store it. So it will make you move to get rid of that energy. Alcohol helps you get to sleep. But because your body's trying to burn this alcohol off, it will wake you up. As soon as your sleep is disturbed, the potential of muscle growth goes down. What you've got to do is you've got to have alcohol in moderation. If you're going to drink, make sure you're drinking at least 3 hours before you go to bed, because you're going to burn off 1 unit of alcohol per hour. And you're not going to like me saying this, but 1 unit is about 1/3 of a pint or 1 shot of a clear spirit, sambuca. All right, vodka, gin, those kind of things, but you'd have with a mixer. So if you are going to drink, make sure it's nowhere near a heavy workout and there is that time before you go to sleep. Number 3 is sleep and rest. Like I said at the start, you do not grow muscle mass in the gym. You grow it when you're outside the gym. Most of that happens when we're asleep. Poor sleep makes literally everything worse, and it's unbelievably common. Like, people don't even realize that they're in a sleep debt because they're like, oh, I didn't wake up that tired. But that accumulative effect of not getting enough sleep, especially REM sleep and deep sleep, has a dramatic impact on how you are later down the line. And most people sit in a continuous sleep debt. We're going to talk about how it impacts performance and recovery. Poor sleep reduces recovery, but it decreases performance because if you're not well rested, you're not going to have the energy to actually go and train. Plus, you're not the most motivated when you wake up after a bad night's sleep. Like, I will hold my hands up and say that because I've not slept very well, I've skipped a session. Mainly because I prioritise sleep over that session anyway. Poor sleep creates an environment that increases cortisol, which is a catabolic hormone. It reduces testosterone and reduces muscle protein synthesis by up to about 20% after 1 night of poor sleep. Couple of other details for you. 70% of your growth hormone is released during the first half of a night's sleep. Testosterone peaks in the last third. Cortisol's at its lowest about halfway through your sleep, around 2 to 4 o'clock. If you screw your sleep up, you're literally leaving gains on the table because you're not having testosterone, you don't have your muscle protein synthesis, and you're putting yourself in a catabolic environment because cortisol is spiked. On top of that, you're not giving yourself the time to repair. Think about how much effort you get in and how much emphasis you put onto having the best training program, but you're not looking at these 3 factors that are going to make much more of a difference than if you have the perfect training program. If you're over 30 now, your testosterone's already its way down. Your muscle growth potential's already been limited. You have to be doing things like this. That you don't have to be perfect by any stretch of imagination, but you have to be taken care of. If you need help, if you need more support with what you're doing and increasing the amount of muscle mass you're holding, the link in my description below takes you to the Great Guide of Gains. I walk you through every single thing you need to gain as much muscle as possible whilst you're there. Plus, you'll get on my email list and you'll get regular emails off me showing you how to do this, as well as being slightly funny at times. and I talk about cricket and Pokemon a lot. So to recap, make sure you're not restricting carbohydrates. Keto diets and carnivore diets literally hinder muscle growth, no matter what anybody tells you. Limit alcohol intake as a general rule, and if you are going to drink alcohol, don't put it near a heavy leg session or a heavy weight session, and make sure that you are drinking 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed as a minimum. Thirdly, prioritize your sleep. This is where you're going to grow your muscle. It's not going to happen in the gym, it's happening when you're asleep. So make sure that you're getting the best night's sleep you can. Focus on the basics, cool dark room, a nightly routine, and if you need any help with that, I've got a sleep video that you can watch as well, which I'll bring here. Make sure you like and subscribe, comment below if you have any questions, and I'll see you on the next one.